you can see, well, it seems like we've got quite a good few movies lined up for 2013, which we can look forward to. Now, if you've noticed, when Tom Cruise did speak to the media, it sometimes feels like he's actually acting on screen. Now, someone like me would come to the assumption that Tom Cruise is maybe kind of a one-style actor, especially when you do watch some of his movies. Well, in terms of variation, I would say, compared to some of the great actors out there, even, for example, I would say Leonardo DiCaprio, for example, Tom Cruise can come out to be a very one-style actor, but needless to say, he is absolutely famous. His stars love him, and people do definitely watch his movies. And when you watch a little bit of the trailer that we just showed you, it seems like it's an interesting sci-fi movie to watch out for. Now, the American science fiction film, it is co-written and produced and directed by Joseph Kosinski, and based on his unpublished graphic novel of the same name, and it's edited by Radical Comics. It stars Tom Cruise, needless to say, and Olga Kurylenko, if I got that pronounced right, and Andrea Riseborough, Morgan Freeman, of course everybody knows, Melissa Leo, Zoe Bell, and Nicola Costa. And the film was initially scheduled to release in July 10th in 2013. Of course, we have one more interesting thing that we want to show you before we head in for a commercial break, and this is where tens of thousands strive for Australia's 6 best jobs in the world. Have a look at this.
Precisely what I do.
More than 40,000 people from around the globe have applied for Australia's 6 best jobs in the world, leaving Australian tourism officials with the mammoth task of paring the list down to 18 finalists. The 6-month jobs, which include Outback Adventurer and Chief Funster, attracted initial interest from around 600,000 people from nearly 200 countries before applications closed late on 10th of April.
We have, I think, a pretty even spread amongst the 6 jobs, and people have gone to the most enormous amount of effort. You know, they've created specific footage. Some of them have pulled together all sorts of examples of things that they've done in their past, particularly around travel or food experiences or, you know, experiences with wildlife. They're all mad. We're really excited. It's going to be, I think, a really tight contest, but, you know, an amazing outcome when we pick the final 6.
Applicants were asked to submit a 30-second video explaining why they would be good for the jobs, which come with a stipend of 100,000 Australian dollars. Among the entries received were a woman snorkeling in stop-motion animation and a man having a pillow fight. The 18 finalists, 3 for each job, will be flown to Australia for interviews and final selection.
But basically, we'll, you know, spend time with them. We'll, you know, whatever state and territory they might be in, they'll take them out, they'll run them through a whole series of activities relating to the role. And hopefully there'll be a standout or there'll be a fight to the death.
The Chief Funster will have VIP access to exclusive Sydney parties and festivals, while the Northern Territory's Outback Adventurer will get a taste of Australian bush life. Americans top the list of applicants, followed by Britons, Italians, French, South Koreans, and surprising Australia's tourism chiefs, 30,000 Australians.
That is a surprise, although I think Australia is a vast country with a whole lot of different experiences, and jobs like these, which are quite specific and in different states and territories, might be giving someone from Perth an opportunity to experience Sydney, or someone from Queensland an opportunity to spend time in the Northern Territory Outback. So they're really, really, really appealing jobs.
The campaign was based on a 2009 initiative by authorities in Queensland State seeking an island caretaker on the world-famous Great Barrier Reef. That campaign attracted almost 35,000 entries and was won by Briton Ben Southall. Queensland's 2009 campaign sparked similar campaigns around the world. Recently, the Chinese city of Hangzhou launched a Facebook campaign to find a modern-day Marco Polo. The 6 winners will be announced on June 21st.
Well, it definitely seems to be quite interesting if you ask me. Now, apparently more than 40,000 people from around the globe have applied for this Australia's 6 best jobs in the world business. And they're supposed to bring it down to 18 finalists. Now, from 40,000 people to bring it down to 18 finalists is going to be quite a task if you ask me. But of course, with 40,000 people are going to apply for it, that means it is quite successful. They've had quite a successful campaign when it comes to promoting this. And of course, now later on after the break, we will be having a music video on air for you, and we'll be talking a little bit about how the Pope, new Pope Francis, how he has approached the whole earthquake in the Middle East. And of course we will be talking a little bit about the situation in China with this whole bird flu business. And of course last week I told you that there were 9 deaths reported, but which is not the case today. It has actually risen, and I will be giving you a little bit of figures on that. So don't go away. We are going in for a short commercial break, and we'll be right back here on Good Morning. Hello and welcome back to the show. You are watching Good Morning Sri Lanka with me, Wassam Ismail, on MTV Sports. And I said earlier, if you do hang on, we do have a music video that is coming up. We'll be talking a little bit about the situation in China. But right now, we're going to focus your attention towards the Middle East and the 6.3 magnitude earthquake that did hit Iran, and which actually injured 850 people and breaking homes and creating a bit of a disaster. Now, this earthquake apparently was felt in different parts of the Middle East, including Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and even parts of Pakistan, which was what the reports of international media said. But of course, this little video is about how the new Pope, Pope Francis, how he approached the whole situation of the earthquake that did take place quite recently. So do check this out.
Addressing the many thousands gathered in St. Peter's Square at the end of the weekly general audience, Pope Francis said on 10th of April that he will pray for the victims of an earthquake which hit Iran, killing 37 people and injuring at least 850 people. I have heard the news of a strong earthquake which hit the south of Iran and caused death, numerous injuries and serious damage. I will pray for the victims and express my closeness to the population that has been hit by this catastrophe. The powerful 6.3 magnitude earthquake struck close to Iran's only nuclear power station on Tuesday 9th of April and devastated 2 small villages, Iranian media reported. The Russian company that built the nuclear power station said the plant was unaffected. Reports spoke of landslides destroying buildings and crowds gathering in the town of Dashti from outlying areas in search of help. Military officials said army and police units had been deployed to maintain order. Tuesday's quake was much smaller than the 9.0 magnitude one that hit Japan 2 years ago, triggering a tsunami that destroyed backup generators and disabled the Fukushima nuclear plant's cooling system. 3 of the reactors melted down.
Well, as I said earlier, the world will never run out of issues. We'll always be continuously getting reports of some natural disaster or the other from around the world. But I sincerely hope I hope that the situation there would come to an ease, and that they would not be facing any critical issues, at least for some time, because they are reportedly seem to be having a few earthquakes close to one other. Now, as I said, we will be talking a little bit about the situation in China. Now, last Thursday morning, when I did address you, I did tell you that there were about 9 deaths that were reported, and also that they did suspect that these flus were coming out of poultry, but it seems like that is not the case. Now, the World Health Organization said that a number of people who have tested positive for a new strain of bird flu in China have had no history of contact with poultry, adding to the mystery about the virus that has killed 16 people to date. The WHO spokesman Gregory Hartl confirmed that there are people who have no history of contact with poultry, after top Chinese scientist was quoted as saying that about 40% of those with the H7N9 virus had no contact with fowl. This is one of the puzzles still to be resolved, and therefore argues for a wide investigation net. Hartl said in emailed comments, though he added he did not know the exact percentage. Now, China has warned that the number of infections could rise from the current 77. The latest victims are from the commercial capital of Shanghai, where the majority of the cases have been found. The official news agency said on Tuesday, the official Xinhua news agency had said on Tuesday, and the exact source of infection remains unknown, and no human-to-human spread of the virus has been confirmed. So that is the situation which is there right now. Unfortunately, 16 people have died, and let's hope that it does not get into a worse situation than that, because not just China, if that happens, it is going to affect people internationally. Now, like I said before we do close the show, we do have a music video lined up for you, and I hope you do enjoy it. But before I do play it, I just want to wish you a pleasant day ahead, and I will be seeing you again tomorrow morning. So this is Kelly Clarkson with Stronger. Good morning to you, and have a pleasant day.